Welcome to my channel. Literary Terms Part 4. Metaphor. A metaphor is a direct and vivid comparison between two things usually considered distinct or unrelated. Metaphors discover the connections between unique things and emphasize their similarities poetically without being taken literally. Here are a few examples of metaphor. Her smile is the sun. He's a black sheep. All the world's a stage. Erotesis. Erotesis is a close cousin of the rhetorical question. Rather than a question asked without expectation of an answer, this is when the question, and the asker, confidently expects a response that is either negative or affirmative. Example: do you then really think that you have committed your follies in order to spare your son them? Siddhartha by Hermann Hesse. Hyperbaton. Hyperbaton is the inversion of words, phrases, or clauses in a sentence that differs from how they would normally be arranged. It comes from the Greek hyperbatos, which means transposed or inverted. While it is similar to anastrophe, it doesn't have the same specific structure and allows you to rearrange your sentences in whatever order you want. Example: object there was none. Passion there was none. I loved the old man. He had never wronged me. He had never given me insult. For his gold I had no desire. The Telltale Heart by Edgar Allan Poe. Isocolon. If you're a neat freak who likes things just so, isocolon is the literary device for you. This is when two or more phrases or clauses have similar structure, rhythm, and even length, such that, when stacked up on top of each other, they would line up perfectly. Isocolon often crops up in brand slogans and famous sayings. The quick, balanced rhythm makes the phrase catchier and more memorable. Example: Veni, Vidi, Vici, I came, I saw, I conquered. Portmanteau. A portmanteau is when two words are combined to form a new word which refers to a single concept that retains the meanings of both the original words. Modern language is full of portmanteaus. In fact, the portmanteau is itself a portmanteau. It's a combination of the French porter, to carry, and manteau, cloak. Example: brunch, breakfast and lunch, cosplay, costume and role play, listicle, list and article, rom-com, romance and comedy. Repetition. Repetition, repetition, repetition. Where would we be without it? Though too much repetition is rarely a good thing, occasional repetition can be used quite effectively to drill home a point, or to create a certain atmosphere. For example, horror writers often use repetition to make the reader feel trapped and scared. Example: in The Shining, Jack Torrance types over and over again on his pages, all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. In this case, obsessive repetition demonstrates the character's unraveling mind. Anecdote. An anecdote is like a short story within a story. Sometimes, they are incredibly short, only a line or two, and their purpose is to add a character's perspective, knowledge, or experience to a situation. They can be inspirational, humorous, or be used to inspire actions in others. Since anecdotes are so short, don't expect them to be part of a main story. They're usually told by a character and part of the dialogue. Example: Marcel Proust's Swan's Way, part of his series of novels, In Search of Lost Time, deals with the themes of remembrance and memory. In one section of this book, to illustrate these ideas, the main character recalls an important memory of eating a Madeleine cookie. Many years had elapsed during which nothing of Combray, save what was comprised in the theatre and the drama of my going to bed there, had any existence for me, when one day in winter, as I came home, my mother, seeing that I was cold, offered me some tea, a thing I did not ordinarily take. I declined at first, and then, for no particular reason, changed my mind. She sent out for one of those short, plump little cakes called petites madeleines, which look as though they had been molded in the fluted scallop of a pilgrim's shell. Exposition. Exposition is when the narrative provides background information in order to help the reader understand what's going on. When used in conjunction with description and dialogue, this literary device provides a richer understanding of the characters, setting, and events. Be careful, though, too much exposition will quickly become boring, thus undercutting the emotional impact of your work. Example: the Dursleys had everything they wanted, but they also had a secret, and their greatest fear was that somebody would discover it. Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone by J.K. Rowling.
Thanks for watching.